Tonight, we have an eventful final episode of 2015, filled with stories on professors, a comedy festival, and so much more.
Oh, and Katie, this is our last episode of Lowdown.
Oh my gosh, so depressing. But you know what? Stick around. There's another great episode of Lowdown next.
Hey everybody, and welcome to Lowdown, a show produced by the students here at the University of Central Missouri, right here in Warrensburg. I'm Ronandus Johnson.
And I'm Katie Bailey. Thanks for joining us this evening as we bid farewell to our college career and go out hosting with a bang.
Exactly, and to kickstart the night off right, we're taking a look at a couple of professors right here on campus who have great insight as to what it's like to be a professor here at UCM.
We're going to pull you close, we're going to hug you.
Dr. Schiaffolo, also known as Dr. Love, is a professor on UCM's campus and an activist for social justice issues. His passion for justice and peace has led him through numerous rallies and peaceful protests. Throughout his years of teaching, Dr. Love came up with the Valuing Differences class.
Well, in the Valuing Differences, Discovering Common Ground class, basically it started in 1992 after the Quiet Day riots on campus. And I'd been out on the streets with the students, make sure they didn't get hurt. And I became a go-between between the students and the administration. And in Valuing Differences, basically what we teach is that if you're going to resolve problems and issues and conflicts, you got to start by having a conversation. And you got to humanize the proposition. We've got to understand that people see things through the prism of their experiences. Some are similar, some are different. But once we start talking and we hear the stories people bring to the table, that humanizes us, and then that's a starting point to try and resolve those issues we agree and we disagree with on.
Valuing Differences is a highly interactive class that teaches students empathy and understanding of different cultures, races, genders, and religions.
Well, I think that what you learn in a classroom ought to be relevant to the world you live in, the issues you're going to have to deal with, the decisions you're going to have to make, the people you're going to have to deal with, and the challenges and the opportunities that you face. And likewise, what you learn in a classroom, you ought to be able to use when you walk outside that classroom. That's what an education ought to be about.
Dr. Schiaffolo has been involved with peace and justice issues for 45 years. He has worked as a professor for UCM for nearly 30 years now and plans to continue teaching students that they can make a difference.
If you want to understand people, you got to get to know them. And by getting to know them, you need to hear the stories they bring to the table. And if you look past the packages, we really do have more in common than we do different. I think the other thing I try and teach kids is to be involved. Don't ever give in to the futility that any problem or issue is too big for you to attack. You know, Bobby Kennedy said that, it is from numerous diverse acts of courage and belief that human history are shaped. Each time a man or woman stands up for an ideal or acts to improve the lot of others or strikes out against injustice, they send forth a tiny ripple of hope, and crossing each other from a million different centers of energy and daring, those ripples build a current which can sweep down the mightiest walls of oppression and resistance. You've got to be a force for change in your own way, in your own time, and in your own place.
For Lowdown, I'm Katie Bailey.
Some professors excel above and beyond expectation. Some students believe Dr. Joe Moore, the sports broadcasting professor, to be just one of those faces.
We teach an intro to sports broadcasting class in the fall, and they're learning about what goes into a live sports production, what the different positions are, the planning process, the terminology, all of those types of things. And then in the spring we have an advanced sports broadcasting class. In the advanced class I have them pick a couple of spots so they can really hone in on those skills. We start doing a little bit more with studio productions as well, so that's the advanced piece of it.
Along with different positions, Joe also puts a strong emphasis on teaching professionalism, teamwork, and preparation.
One of the biggest things they're learning that I stress with all of them is preparation, doing your homework, doing your research. my students that do live productions who are going to be doing play-by-play in color. I tell them, you're having a conversation, you're talking about the game, you need to know who the players are, you need to know how to pronounce their names, you need to know some of their statistics, you need to really do your research so you can talk about it and sound educated and have credibility.
Joe himself is an alumni of the university and has always had a special interest in sports, which is exactly why he set out to create the sports broadcasting program.
We have the best Division II athletic conference in the country. We have one of the best Division II athletic programs in the country. We need people to see it. I thought, all right, so I'm teaching in this area. We have these great programs. I wonder what it would take for us to start broadcasting.
Because of this program, Joe has made a positive influence on many students by training them for their future careers and encouraging some for graduate programs.
So Joe Moore took me under his wing. He kind of showed me the ropes. He got me into his classes. So I owe a lot to Joe Moore. I mean, he honestly has given me a lot, and I've learned a lot, and it's something that I honestly appreciate.
Joe's heavy influence spawns from his unique teaching philosophy.
I have a sign on my wall that talks about, as an educator, I don't feel like it's my job to teach, but it's my job to give my students the opportunity to learn. But I can provide opportunities and guide students and lay things out there for them that if they're willing to take the time, they're willing to jump on board and grasp it, they've got a chance.
Joe plans to help guide students for many years to come. Reporting for Lowdown, I'm Rick Fahler.
And so that's just a glimpse of two wonderful UCM professors that call our community home.
Absolutely, Ro. And you know what? To stay on topic of education, UCM holds so many different events for reading and grammar.
That's right. The university recently invited an author to come discuss her novel. Plus, we get a little insight of a new study group aimed to help students get ready for their classes and write papers. Check this out.
Grammar Happy Hour grew out of a feeling that me and my coworker, Allie Lewigold, had, that there were a lot of instructors and students who wanted help with grammar, but there wasn't really any place to get it.
Regular happy hour, we ask the students what they want to work on most predominantly. So some students will say like, oh, my teacher always tells me I don't know how to use commas. So then with this group of people, if everybody agrees that, that they want to discuss commas, we'll spend quite a while working on commas with this group. We'll explain the rules in more accessible language than these grammar books might, and we'll give them examples, and it often is really relaxed and kind of informal. We'll make jokes about it, and I think the kind of relaxed informality and joking really helps it stick in people's minds.
Writing centers sort of traditionally grew out of these spaces where students who were labeled as remedial were thrown into closets to do grammar worksheets until they were supposed to become better writers. And so the writing centers that we have today sort of have that legacy and have chosen to focus on sort of bigger issues that are more empowering to students. So instead of doing grammar worksheets, we encourage students to bring in samples of their writing, and we help them really develop their ideas and find their voice, which is fantastic. It often ends up having a more dramatic effect on a paper to care about it and figure out what you're trying to say rather than having all the commas in the right places. But teachers still want commas in all the right places. So since we're not doing grammar worksheets anymore, and increasingly composition teachers have so much to do, they're not going back and doing sort of the basic grammar. And so we wanted to create a space where students could come in and it would still be student-centered because they would be the ones like, hey, we want help on this. And then we would also have food, and it would be more relaxing than being in a closet doing worksheets.
I think an alternative way to teaching the things that we teach in normal tutorials. So in normal tutorials, a student will come in, we'll sit down with a paper, and if I notice they misuse semicolons a lot, I'll give them a one-on-one brief lesson about semicolons. I think Grammar Happy Hour brings more of a collective mind frame to the education, so these people can discover the rules as a group.
We have Grammar Happy Hour every Wednesday from 4 o'clock to 6. It's a completely open space, so you can come in at 4 o'clock and stay for 10 minutes, or you can come in at 5 o'clock and stay until 6.
University of Central Missouri is known for bringing different events to campus, and recently they brought author Elizabeth Svoboda to talk about her book, What Makes a Hero? The Surprising Science of Selflessness.
My book is about the science of selflessness, things like what makes us want to behave selflessly, why are there situations where we sometimes hold back and don't behave heroically, don't behave selflessly, and then are there ways that we can learn to become more selfless or more heroic in the context of our own lives.
The reason Svoboda came to UCM's campus was because of the university's One Campus, One Book program. This allows students to vote for a book that all incoming freshmen must read. In this school year, that book was What Makes a Hero.
The One Campus, One Book program allows for every year one author to be brought to the campus here, and through the semester, all the freshman class have been reading the book that has been chosen by that author. So they already have this amazing springboard for discussion, and I think to have the author come visit hopefully can be a catalyst to continue that discussion through the rest of the semester and hopefully beyond.
When Svoboda came to UCM's campus, she not only did a book signing, but gave students and faculty an insight into her book.
I think it was really about helping to continue the amazing conversation that's been happening about what constitutes heroism and how we can broaden the boundaries of what heroism is. The truth is that there are so many different varieties of heroism that you can aspire to, and I hope to bring that message across.
There are also a few things Svoboda hopes students learn from her book.
I think if a college student was coming across this book, I think that's sort of a great time in your life to think about what kind of heroic journey you actually want to take, and think about the varieties of heroism that are available to you and decide which ones most resonate with you and what you want to make part of your path, regardless of what your occupation ends up being, what you end up doing. You can find ways to incorporate heroic action into any walk of life that you choose.
For Lowdown, I'm Natalie Dattilio.
So now you know where to go if you need help writing those papers for class.
And Ro, guess what? UCM is a hot spot for entertainment right now.
Oh, absolutely. From world-renowned performances from a saxophone quartet to the first ever UCM Comedy Festival.
And let me tell you about this YouTube celebrity sensation that's right here on campus.
Tell me about it. I had no idea.
So cool. Oh my gosh.
So let's switch gears for a moment and check out these wonderful stories.
The Performing Arts Series and the Department of Music at the University of Central Missouri presents the Athens Saxophone Quartet in concert. The ASQ's members are virtuous saxophonists, as well as accomplished composers, theorists, and teachers in the universities and colleges.
I've been playing with this group, the Athens Saxophone Quartet, since 2008. There are 2 Greek performers and there are 2 Americans who actually coincidentally both live in Missouri.
Dr. Eric Honor, a professor of music technology and composition at the University of Central Missouri, is the baritone saxophone for the quartet.
There's myself and then Leo Segigit, who is the professor of saxophone at Mizzou. Leo and I and the founder of the group, Athanasios Zervas, we were all in graduate school together at Northwestern University in Chicago. We all did degrees there in saxophone. Thanasis and I also did degrees in composition there.
The quartet has appeared frequently in music festivals and concert halls internationally, most recently at the 2015 World Saxophone Congress in Strasbourg, France.
The performance there went very well. We were very pleased with it, and as part of that, we decided we wanted to try to schedule a series of performances again in the United States. And so we wrote some grants and got some funding available and performed here as part of the Performing Arts Series, and then we also performed at Kansas State University and at the University of Missouri-Columbia.
Founded by Athanasios Zervas in 1997, the Athens Saxophone Quartet is considered one of the finest chamber music ensembles in Greece.
Well, we got really good reviews, we got a lot of interest from other musicians in Greece, and we kind of said, well, maybe we should keep this thing going. And so since then we've performed, all over the world. And it's great, it gives us a chance to get together and make really great music, and it gives the Missourians a chance to go to Greece, and it gives the Greeks a chance to come to the United States, and it's fabulous.
For Lowdown, I'm Katie Bailey.
the University of Central Missouri hosted their very first comedy festival, put on by the UCM Comedy Improv Club. President Kollin Bell takes us in closer on the subject.
This is a small comedy festival featuring the UCM Comedy Improv Club, who is hosting it, setting it up. So this is our first semester ever doing something like this, or ever just being in existence at all. So we just wanted to do something to get our names out.
Kollin single-handedly founded the UCM Improv Club.
So we're just a group of people who do stand-up comedy and improv, and we've been doing shows on campus.
You guys enjoyed the festival so far?
I just wanted a place where people and I myself can really foster the comedic arts, and I didn't feel like it was a place like that in Warrensburg or really at UCM. So I felt like, since it wasn't a place for me or people like me, I kind of wanted to ignite the culture, and show people that it was a welcome environment for this kind of stuff.
Comedians from all around the area were invited to contribute to the festival, including comedians from Warrensburg, from Truman State University in Kirksville, Missouri, and even a couple from Arkansas. With the help of UCM and the community, Kollin foresees a bright future for this organization.
I'm planning on next semester doing other events and other things that involve different people from Kansas City or St. Louis that are professional comedians, and also try to bring out more people in UCM that always wanted to do improv or comedy and didn't feel like that they had the ability to do so.
Kollin invites anyone who shares his passion for the comedic arts to join the improv club.
Honestly, I've always loved to just talk to people and tell jokes like my whole life, and I just realized that this was something that was just so compatible with who I am. I feel comfortable with anybody, just talking to people and just laughing and having fun, so it's like the perfect match.
Reporting for Lowdown, I'm Rick Failer. Hundreds of thousands of videos are uploaded to YouTube every day. Among those uploaders, one UCM student, Katie Legate, managed to find success.
So I was 14 years old. I just entered high school, and I think I was a little bit bored, and I also just discovered the YouTube beauty community. So I was watching all these other girls on YouTube who made these videos that I was interested in, and I had always been interested in makeup and whatnot and beauty. So I watched their videos, and then I discovered that I could actually upload them myself. And I filmed a how to make a lip gloss video, because I had just learned how to do that. So I did that. I filmed a few other videos, and they started to pick up viewership over time. It took a little while, and I just found a passion for it and continued to do it for years and years.
Katie's first glance at viewership sparked from a video gone viral.
In summer of 2012, I created a video where I showed people how to dip dye their hair with Kool-Aid. And it was the most random thing. I had just learned how to do it probably just from the internet myself. And I made the video, 2 minutes long. It was just an easy edit, uploaded it, and a month later it had 1 million views. And now to this day it has 14.8 million views, I believe. And I kind of think of that video as the reason to why my channel kind of blossomed.
Now that Katie's channel has over 100,000 subscribers, she's decided to branch her channel out.
My channel name is no longer Makeup Katie 95, it's Katie Legate. It is me, so it's not just beauty videos, it's lifestyle videos. And I see it going from me being younger, and I'm gonna continue to grow up on this online community. I just know in my heart that my passion is this, and it's to see the continue and the growth of where the internet is going, and I want to make it positive. It's shaped me. I never knew what I wanted to be when I was growing up. I never knew. And I never really thought about the future. And then one night I was just sitting there and it clicked, and I realized that the answer was that I had made this name for myself online, and it was a huge part of my life, so it means something, and it means that I probably need to go in the direction that I'm passionate about, and that is YouTube and what the world of social media is, I suppose.
Reporting for Lowdown, I'm Rick Failer.
Events and artistic, unique people are some of the great things that make UCM the campus to be.
Absolutely, Ro. And for our final stories of this evening, why don't we go ahead and check out some of the cultural events happening all around UCM's campus.
The first is UCM's first ever Native American powwow.
And then we have a celebration for the Indian culture. It's kind of like their New Year's. Why don't you go ahead and check it out?
The first ever Trading Moon Native American powwow was recently held at UCM Student Recreation and Wellness Center. The powwow was brought to campus to create awareness for Native American heritage and culture.
The event today is about bringing Native American culture on campus, and it's our first annual powwow. It's an intertribal event.
This event is about creating a sense of community as well as a sense of awareness, because this part of Missouri especially has a huge cultural root when it comes to Native Americans, and we wanted to create this powwow on campus to help establish that sense of community and provide an outlet for everyone here.
The powwow featured lots of traditional Native American dancing, singing, crafts, and cuisine.
Today, there will be lots of dancing. We've got the grand entry, we have gourd dancing, we have fancy dancing. We also have vendors here selling Native American crafts, and then we'll have a feast for dinner.
The powwow was able to happen due to some generous grants and the collaborative efforts of several academic departments.
Catherine Burris and Rose Goobly really started this, and they got grants from the Missouri Arts Council and from the university and the NEA. And so they just are sort of combining the cultural studies, religious studies, and bringing this event on campus to share the culture with the students here and get them involved.
Though the powwow was meant to be a fun event, it was also meant to be informative about Native American culture.
Above all else, what I want people to take away is a sense of enjoyment. This is supposed to establish a sense of community. Not only that, but it's also supposed to create a sense of awareness and knowledge when it comes to different aspects of Native culture. And we're hoping that it also will be an educational experience for many people too.
The plans for future powwows is to expand the celebration in both size and in reach.
I think the plan would be to just make this a bigger and bigger event each year and really get the entire campus involved. Include more departments. We've got the English department and the sociology department and anthropology working really hard on this, but maybe we could involve more departments and more people in the community and have more people coming in from Kansas City and other nearby areas to participate.
Every year we will reach out to more and more people. The word of mouth will get round to places outside of the Warrensburg area, and I'm hoping that we will attract more people here too.
Reporting for Lowdown, I'm Ben Van Maley.
Cultural celebrations bring a college campus together, and UCM is taking part in one of the biggest celebrations from India. It was a packed house at Hendricks Hall as students gathered to celebrate Diwali, an exciting festival filled with fun for all.
Diwali means it's, festival of lights, festival of joy.
A warm welcome to everyone here. And finally, the day has come. The most awaiting event of UCM has come.
Today it was so much fun. To be frank, I didn't have experience before. This is the first time that I'm doing informal kind of stage performance, and that was really so much fun,
And fun is the underlying theme of the celebration. Everyone who took part brought their own excitement to the evening. And what could be more exciting than sharing an old tradition with a new country?
I was all super excited to do it here in other country rather than in my country. That's the reason I was all excited, and interacting with the crowd was all fun for me, which I really like to do.
Of course, the fun was shared with the audience.
What would you do to impress your husband, Mom?
Handling the crowd and talking with people and trying to mingle with them. That was really so much fun.
I guess the first thing I would need to know is to learn how to make some spicy Indian food.
Yes, everyone's a part of the fun. So what's the big deal about Diwali? Well, it's one of the most revered and popular events on the Hindu calendar, celebrating the triumph of good over evil. There are many different ways to celebrate the festival, but the common denominator is it's a joyful celebration full of excitement.
I'm so sorry, I'm not able to control my excitement levels.
We all come together, we plan out the event, then sketch out the program, and finally we all come together to make it a grand and successful one.
It's awesome, excellent, and marvelous, and outstanding, which I've seen, compared to other universities, it's outstanding.
And no matter what the reason, people in our community from all kinds of cultures can enjoy this festival because it's all about celebrating the good things in life.
Be happy and celebrate festivals sometimes with family members and have fun.
I'm Ronandus Johnson with the Lowdown from Hendricks Hall. We've come to the end of another episode of Lowdown, and this is our final episode for the semester and our final episode hosting.
But you know, guys, don't fret. Lowdown will be back in the spring semester with 2 new hosts that are going to do a wonderful job.
Absolutely. It's been a pleasure being in your homes these entire 2 years. Thanks for joining us. For the final time, I'm Ronandus Johnson.
And I'm Katie Bailey. Thank you so much to all the support from our wonderful campus and to viewers like you. From all of us at KMOS TV, good night.
Hey everybody, welcome into the Lowdown. And tonight we've got a lot of top stories for you, don't we, Katie? That's right, we're taking a look at these 3 special people and finding out what might be... Let's do it again.
That'll work. That'll work.
Okay.
A little down will do ya.
A little damn will do ya.